I'm Alex. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. Today we are starting a video that I think this has been going around YouTube for like over a year at this point, and I still haven't done it, but we're going to be reading until I find a 5-star read. So I had a 5-star pretty recently, I think like 3 books ago, and it takes a lot for me to rate a book 5 stars, so I thought that this would be a good time to start this because it's probably going to be a bit before I have another one. So my current read is on my Kindle, and I am reading Collided by Lauren Asher. It's the second book in the Dirty Air series. I read Throttled like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago and have not stopped thinking about picking up Collided since. So that is what I'm reading right now. I'm about 30% of the way through it. And yeah, I will update you when I have updates to give. I loved it. This was so close to 5 stars for me. It was so close. The book itself, if I didn't purely give 5 stars based on like the fluttering feeling in my chest from reading a book, this one would have gotten it. It didn't give me that like, oh my god, this is a 5-star book like feeling, but it was incredible nonetheless. I loved and ate up every single second of it. Okay, so I know I haven't updated this video since the end of my 24-hour challenge, but I don't think I've updated you since the beginning of the 24-hour challenge. So I did a 24-hour reading challenge. If you're curious on more in-depth thoughts and opinions of these books, go watch that video. I'll leave it linked. But I think the last book I talked to you about was The Love Wager. It's been exactly a week at this point, so I honestly don't remember. But after The Love Wager, I read The Nanny by Lana Ferguson, which I rated 4 stars. And then I read The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden, which is like an off-brand version of Verity, which I know is like based off Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, but I just did not enjoy it. I gave that 2.5 stars. I read Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. I think I talked a little bit about this one. I gave it 3 stars. Then I read Happily Ever After, the like novellas for the Selection series. I gave that 3 stars. Then I read Homebody by Ruby Carr, which is my favorite collection of poetry from her thus far. No rating because it's poetry. I'm not gonna rate people's life experiences. And then I read Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan, the same author who wrote Nora Goes Off Script. I gave that 3.5 stars. And then I read Call It What You Want by Alyssa DeRogatis, which I also gave 3.5 stars. I saw this author all over TikTok, and the cover of this book is gorgeous. Really enjoyed it. Would recommend. Not a 5-star though. And then I read Wrecked by Lauren Asher, which had me crying the same way Final Offer did, but I don't think I felt the same like connection to the characters as I did in the Dreamland Billionaire series. So I gave that 4 stars. And then I read Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead. It's the second book to Finlay Donovan is Killing It, I think is what the first one is. I gave that 3 stars. And then last night I finished Redeem by Lauren Asher, and I gave that 3.5 stars. So no 5 stars yet. We shall continue chugging along. If you watched my 24-hour reading challenge and saw me take a clip in this same outfit in the same spot, pretend you didn't. So here's an update for my 5-star reading video. I finished The American Roommate Experiment, and as I expected, it was not 5 stars. I rated it 4.5 stars. You can come in here, big guy. Come on. You're okay. And then after The American Roommate Experiment, I read Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the second book in the Natural series. Come on down. Come on. Oh, good boy. Good boy. So I read Killer Instinct, which is the second book in the Natural series, and I rated that 4 stars. So still no 5 stars. That's okay. I'm currently like a quarter of the way or a third of the way through The Fall of Bradley Reed by Morgan Elizabeth. It's the third book in like the 'Tis the Season for Revenge, Cruel Summer, and then this one. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read, but I always enjoy Morgan Elizabeth's books, so this one is no different, so we'll see. I could not, for the life of me, tell you what the last thing I filmed for this video was. I remember updating after my 24-hour reading challenge, but I don't really know if I've updated since then. So, just in case I haven't, last week, today is Friday, September 15th, last week on September 4th, I finished The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas, which was my 5-star prediction for the month, and I would say that it came close, but didn't quite hit the mark for me. I think I rated it 4.5 stars, and of course I don't have my ratings in front of me because why would I? The next book I read was Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the Naturals series, and I rated it 4 stars. I enjoyed it more than the first, for sure, but I definitely liked None Shall Sleep and Some Shall Break a little bit better, I think, in terms of that like genre of books. I am very excited to read All In and also Bad Blood, so don't get me wrong, I'm loving the series, but I did like Ellie Marnie's version of it better, and I think a lot of that is just because it's college kids, they're a little bit older, they're a little more relatable, etc. So definitely read the series though, especially if you're a Criminal Minds fan. The next book I read, which I might have talked about this at some point, but editing Alex will clear it all up, I'm sure. The next book I read was The Fall of Bradley Reed by Morgan Elizabeth, which is the third book. It started with 'Tis the Season for Revenge, and then Cruel Summer, and now The Fall of Bradley Reed, which is just like the fall season version of it. And I really enjoyed it. I rated it, again, I don't remember if it's 4 or 4.5. Editing Alex will clear it up, but not 5 stars. That's what I remember from it the most. After that, I took a couple days off of reading because I just wasn't feeling it. But then I saw exactly one TikTok about how good the Mindfucked series is, so I decided to start that. So I read The Risk, which is the first book in that series. It's by S.T. Abbey, and I rated that 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it kicked off with a bang, and it was great. And then I immediately, same day, read Sidetracked, and it took me a couple of days to get through it, but I loved it. And then after Sidetracked, I read, Okay, so I read The Risk and Sidetracked on the same day, and then the next day I read Scarlet Angel, which is the third book in the series, and All the Lies, which is the fourth book in the series, and Paint It Red, which is the 5th book in the series, so I finished it on Tuesday. Now, the first 2 books, I rated both of these 4 stars. Getting into Scarlet Angel, I rated it 4.5 stars. All the Lies, I rated 4.5 stars. When I got to Paint It Red, I did initially rate it 4.5 stars, and this is why I'm here updating you like this and not reading it live. But I did initially rate it 4.5 stars, but at this point it's been 3 days. I cannot stop thinking about Lana and Logan. All I want to do is pick up a book and be back in the world. I missed it so much that last night I started watching Criminal Minds at 2 a.m. Like, do I need to do that? No, but I just wanted to be back in the world with these people. And yeah, I think that This video is going to end with me updating my rating for Painted All Red by St. Abby to 5 stars. I loved it so much. So it's officially over. We did it. It took just over a month to get from my last 5-star book to this one. I didn't think it was going to happen, but we made it. I wish I had recorded myself reading it because I just know there were so many like outward reactions. I was like gasping all the time and like giggling at some points and like about to cry at others, and my husband was always like, "Are you good?" So I just like, oh my goodness, what a roller coaster. For those of you who have read this series, can you please tell me, how did you get over it? Because I can't. And if you haven't read the series yet, please pick it up. Please. I'm begging you, especially if you're a fan of Criminal Minds. It basically takes like The Naturals or None Shall Sleep and makes it adult because there is explicit content in it, but also like more romance than they are. It's a true masterpiece. I loved it. And I know St. Abby is a pen name for this author, so I kind of want to read some of her other like regular books now. But that is going to be it for this reading until I find a 5-star book video. Thank you for sticking with me through the process. There was some rough patches in the middle there, but I'm glad we made it. I'm so glad I read this series. If you haven't read it, please read it. Please. If you take anything from my channel, please make it be this series. But thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.